By the way, hello. Sorry that I don't get to see you guys in person, but know that I'm giving you a huge virtual hug right now. Um, I think everything is going to be okay. I think we're going to get through this. Just be patient with your teachers, as a lot of them are learning to use Google Classroom for the first time because of our distance learning, and they might not be the most proficient. And I know you guys are pretty used to using Google Classroom, at least in my class. So just be patient with them, give them a little bit of grace. We're going to give you guys a lot of grace as well, because y'all have never had to learn like this or go to school like this before. So I think there's just going to be a huge learning curve on both sides. But feel free to reach out with any questions or concerns, and know that you can always join my Zoom on odd calendar days between 1 and 2 to have virtual tutoring, or just need help, ask questions. I can also try and help with if you guys have questions with other classes. Like, I can't help you with math or English, but if it's something Google Classroom related, you don't know how to turn something in, or you're more than welcome to ask me that as well. So, all right, so let's get started on this billboard assignment. So by now you've read the article on why you should buy a billboard, and you being like if you were a business, because billboards are very effective. We spend a lot of time in the car, especially in high dense cities where you're using mass transportation, what they call OOH, or outside of the home. Advertising is really effective, since you're sitting on a train or a subway, or you are walking from home to work and you see billboards on your way when you're walking. Of course, here in San Antonio, we see billboards when we're driving. So that's kind of how we equate what billboards are like. But if you've ever visited, New York City, Chicago, any of the big LA, then public transportation and advertising using public transportation is very popular there as well. So you're going to design a billboard, and you're going to design it in this Google Slides presentation. I'll get to that in just a second. So slide 2 is going to go and over the instructions. Obviously, you're listening to me go over the instructions, but if you wanted additional instructions, you have those there, or you can always revisit this video. So number 1, your goal is to bring awareness to your chosen charity or cause. I think I'm going to change that to cause. Okay. So you're going to choose a cause or a charitable cause. And here's a list of charitable causes that you can choose from. So I like this website because it won't show you a full list. You have to pick a category. So if you're really passionate about animals, then maybe you can find a cause within that. If you're really passionate about the environment, then you can find a cause within the environment. Of course, health and disease is a big one. So cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's. So if that's something that you're passionate about, that's just a few that would be underneath there. Poverty, hunger, homelessness. There's so many different things that you could choose from. So I'm just going to go and click on health and disease to show you what it will look like. And then as you open that category, you can kind of scroll down. So your billboard will be about heart disease, and then you'll eventually want to reference this, like let's say you pick the Adult Congenital Heart Association as your charity. The only thing that you'll reference about this charity is when you put their website on your billboard. So there's nothing that you need to research about this particular charity. You're just choosing heart disease as your cause, and then find a charity that coincides with that cause so that you can reference their website when you need to on your billboard. So pick a cause, whatever that cause is for you. Ones that I'm going to go ahead and take off limits will be anything that has to do with legalizing marijuana. I get that some of you are probably passionate about that, but we need to think of something a little bit not more, better, just something different. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off the table. I'm also going to take off the table anything like lowering the drinking age to 18. That's not really a cause that would have a charity associated to it. So you need to find a cause that would have a charity tagged to it. So cancer, homelessness, poverty in kids, obesity in kids, all of those will have some kind of charity that you can find in this list that will have a charity associated to it. So hopefully that clears up some confusion. Okay, so your billboard will need to include some graphics. So you'll copy and, you'll use Google Images, of course, for that. I can show you how to crop images and kind of do that. If you don't know how to do that, I'll show you a really basic way to do it in Google Slides, but you're more than welcome to go and use Adobe Photoshop or any other type of editing. Like I've shown you Pixlr before, so you I'll try and remember to link that in here as well so that you can refer back to that if you want to get rid of white backgrounds. Actually, I'll do that and then that will be here. A call to action, so that'll be your text component. I'll show you an example, and then a website. So that's where you'll have your website for your, let's change this to charity. Okay, so if you chose heart disease as your cause, your billboard will be drawing attention to heart disease. You'll have some kind of call to action that you'll come up with, and then your website might be theamericanheartassociation.org. So number 4, you may not steal any existing billboard design, slogan, or any component of an existing billboard. That would be considered plagiarism. That is plagiarism. Okay, and then you'll use slide 3 to design your billboard. Okay, so here's your blank canvas here. Slide 4 has the rubric for you to view. So I'll go ahead and open that and show it to you. Pretty standard. I'll have this rubric also in Google Classroom so that I can grade via Google Classroom instead of using this Google Doc. But you can see it, message and intended meaning. The billboard's message and intended meaning came through exceptionally clear. Or was I confused? Like, I don't understand what the cause is. Like, I'm just confused. Okay, graphics and pictures, they go well with your, with whatever you're trying to display. It makes sense. Remember, it's the same thing with your cereal box design. Less is more. More is not always better, so we want to always avoid, being super, we don't want to be cluttered. The whole idea behind a billboard is drivers have, seconds to look at your billboard and get its intended meaning in that little short amount of time. So if you clutter it with a ton of different text that they have to read or a ton of pictures that they have to view, that's just, they're not even going to pay attention because they're not going to take their eyes off the road for that long to try and decipher what all that text says or what all those pictures are showing. So just be very clean and limit your billboard to, like few things. And again, I'll show you some pictures. Your text billboard includes a call to action. The website, I'm not going to, phone number, don't even worry about that. Just use the website. And it's eye-catching. It's big enough. Okay, obviously the text should be the text and the graphics should be the largest items on your billboard. And then the website should be large enough for viewers to see, but not so large that it's like taking up the entire billboard. So you're just going to have to figure out by Google searching billboard examples how to accurately do that. Okay. Obviously, I'm going to be grading on your grammar and punctuation. So if there's a missing punctuation mark or you spelled something incorrectly, then I will dock you for those things. So we need to be very careful when we're spelling and all that good stuff. And then, of course, creativity. So that's your rubric. Okay, so let's see. I'll show you. These are I just pulled up billboards about heart disease. So you, like this one, for example, you can kind of see here's their graphics. We will not go quietly, we will go red. So that's their call to action, okay? And then down here, they have multiple places for them to go, for a viewer to go if they were interested in learning more, but you only need to have the website. So that would be a great example of one. This would be an okay example as well. So this is their call to action. This is their graphic. And then they also have this information down here too. I don't think that that's too much. But I think basically right here is probably a website for them to go to. This is another one. This is more about the elderly and their risk for heart disease. So graphic, text, and then find out more. They have the website there. Of course, there's one on coronavirus, but not applicable. I thought this was really good too. They're talking about obviously doing research. Do we want to do research on lab rats or humans? So call to action, who would you rather see live? There you've got your graphics, and it's very obvious what the message is here. And then you've got the website. So I think this is a really great example of what to do. And again, you'll see less is more. More is not better. It's very simple. It's not cluttered. Ooh, look at that. I just noticed that rat or her. That was very creative. And they spelt the word rather. Interesting. I just noticed that. So anyways, I think this is a really great example of one. Now, again, this is an example I'm showing you, so it already exists. So you can't obviously steal this idea, any component of this idea, because it's already been done, and that is not ethical. All right. So let me see before. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you how to, okay, so there was, remember, I'm going to put in the link for Pixlr here, so you guys know how to do that from your cereal box design. But here, if you, let's say you wanted a picture of a heart, and you're gonna do this one. You'd copy it, and you can just paste it in, okay? And of course, you can resize that however you want. Now, there really isn't a whole lot to crop out of this picture exactly, but this is the crop button right here. So you'll click that, it puts these black lines around it. You just need to find one of those black lines, and you can drag it over, and then it crops your photo. So that's a way to crop. There is, when you right click on an image, there's some different format options here. So I think probably what you might use more is like the adjustments. So you can make it a little bit transparent if you wanted. You can adjust the transparency. You can adjust the, I don't really know how that's going to show brightness, not brightness. So you can, there's different things back here. Oh, you can add a drop shadow. So you can play around with some of these different options in Google Slides. So there's definitely some ways that you can format your pictures, and those options can also be found here as well. So you can either right click and go to format, or you can just choose format options, but your picture needs to be selected in order for this option to pop up, okay? So that is where you will design your billboard. If you want to do a text box, this is the text box button here. So when you click on it, you'll just click and drag to draw, and you will type your to action. You can select the text, and you can change the font, change the size, bold it, italicize. You can change the color. You can highlight. I mean, there's all different things that you can do here. Oh, let me talk about your website. So once you find your, let's say you choose, heart disease or for adults, right? So that's your cause. If you click on this, it should give you, if you kind of scroll down, so you had to scroll a little bit, it should give you you don't even need all that. You could just include that copy, come back to your wherever, and you can just paste that in. And then again, you can just, this is now a text box and you can drag it. You can select it. And again, you can change the color. It doesn't have to stay that color. You can make it red. You can enlarge it, make it really big. So that's how you would do that. All right, so I'm going to delete that so it doesn't show up in y'all's when I post this in Google Classroom in just a minute. I'll put in that Pixlr link, so if you want to add white, or you want to delete the white backgrounds, then you'll be able to do that as well. I'll be in my Zoom tutoring session. I believe I'm posting this. This is Friday when I'm recording it. So it will be posted on Monday. Monday's also the 23rd, so that's an odd calendar day. So I will be in my Zoom tutorial on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But Friday is when the due date will be for this assignment. So hopefully you'll reach out on Monday or Wednesday before it's actually due. But I'll also be available on Friday as well. So just let me know. Come join me in the Zoom and we can clear up any questions that you guys might have. All right. I love you guys and miss you guys so much. Again, just be patient with us, as a lot of your teachers are learning, as I said earlier. And, try and, do as much work as you can. I don't know what else to tell you guys other than that. So, but I love you guys. All right. Bye-bye.